What's happening, everyone? Time for another malt review. Today we are going to be doing Glenfarclas 25-year-old. Sure you guys get to see the bottle. And let's go ahead and pour ourselves a little dram here.
It looks pretty light. Any idea how, like, sherry versus bourbon?
Yeah, this both. So yeah, this is a combination of some sherry casks and some refill bourbon casks as well. So you're gonna get those sweet cherry flavors along with those nice bourbony flavors as well. And usually with Glenfarclas, especially with the 25 and the older ranges, they're obviously known for their sherry casks, especially some of their single casks, the family casks. This one is going to be more of a balanced whiskey where you're going to have some bourbon influence along with some sherry influence. So the color, as you guys could see, is a nice golden color. Hopefully you guys can see that. I would call it a nice gold. This is bottled at 43% and going right to the nose.
Dead on gold, for sure.
It's very, just like I said at the beginning, I've obviously had this whiskey many times. I didn't need to nose it to know. It's very well balanced with vanilla, chocolate, some toffee, some dried fruits, some nice spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, just a very, very balanced whiskey. That's the best way to describe it. I would think that this would suit any whiskey fan's palate. You're gonna get a little bit of everything and nothing extreme, no extreme amounts of anything.
I'm getting like crazy amounts of creamy, sweet cashew butter, and basically almost everything Narby said. And to his point, it is like, it's obviously older. It's 25 years old, but I'd say, right, for a beginner personal whiskey, or if you're used to something else like, you know, cognac or bourbon, whatever, this is really good entrance into a little older, smoother whiskey. 25 years, a little more complex. It's got a lot of really good balance.
Yeah, I could, yeah, there's quite a bit of honey and vanilla. Those seem very dominant. And then little light chocolate and toffee as well in there. But yes, overall, and I do want to mention that this is a 25-year-old Scotch coming from Glenfarclas, and it's the price, if you just from Googling it real quick, bought this a while ago, I don't remember for how much, but just Googling it real quick, it goes for anywhere from around like $140 to $150 depending on where you look. So you're not really going to get that from too many other people. And Glenfarclas, they don't really do fancy packaging, and they don't spend a lot of money on advertising and things like that. So the money that they spend goes into the product. So you're really going to get a 25-year-old whiskey for a lot less money, whereas suppose you go Macallan, you're obviously spending a ton of money. Highland Park and all those kind of distilleries, you're going to spend a lot more money. So just, you know, if you are used to buying 12 to 15 to maybe even 18-year-old scotches, and you want to bump into the 25-year-old and experience something more aged, but it's too expensive, then the Glenfarclas 25-year-old is pretty much a must. It's a great option on the palate. It's sweet, it's citrusy, it's malty. It's got a little chocolate, some light honey, some orange peel, and now it starts going into some nice wood spice. So a little bit of that wood influence coming from the 25-year-old. Very well balanced. I don't know the proportions of first fill and refill. I do know that it has some refill bourbon in there, and some sherry casks as well. I'm not sure about the proportions, but obviously it's just a really, really well balanced whiskey to suit pretty much any palate, I would guess. Would be comfortable saying that. On the finish, still lingering, getting mainly wood spice and vanilla on the palate right now.
I get, excuse me, just like the nose, I get a really nice balance where you're getting all those typical sherry notes like Narby mentioned, bunch of like honey glazed nuts, all kinds of nuts, like with the creamy cashews, really good honey roasted peanuts. But then I'm also getting really nice vanilla, lemon cream, like crepe, kind of French pastry vibe from the bourbon cask. So just a beautiful balance for any kind of palate.
On a second taste, not much changed again. Have a lot of experience with this whiskey. I just from a personal standpoint, I know the 40-year-old went up in price quite a bit, and the 25-year-old hasn't skyrocketed. I remember just within the last year and a half, the Highland Park 25 and 30-year-old went way up in price, especially the 30-year-old. So even for someone like us, where we do have quite a few of the high-end special bottles, this is something that I probably will be getting another bottle of before the price goes up. So something else to consider. I don't know how long the price will stay around that $150 range. You know, a year from now, this might be a $250 bottle. You never know. So super solid whiskey, nice 25-year-old Scotch. I'd give it a 90 out of 100.
I'll give it an 89.
All right, that concludes this video review. Please comment below if you guys have any suggestions for us on what you would like to see. Anytime you need any help acquiring a bottle, maybe you want this bottle and you want advice on where you can find the best deal, because we do so much of online research. You know, we can maybe help you with that, where you might save a little bit of money. Safe places to ship from, places that we've at least used and we think are safe. Any kind of questions you guys have, we'd more than happy to help. Comment below. You guys can always email us as well, and we'll see you guys soon for another review. Take care.
Have fun, guys.